I've been able to buy over $50 million worth of real estate using all other people's money. It's been a mixture of apartment complexes, single family rentals, self-storage facilities, even a hotel. But in this video, I want to break down my very first apartment complex I bought, show you the numbers, showed what I did and how I was able to do it using none of my own money, and what just happened to the property. Let's go back to 2016. I still had a full-time job at the time and was investing in real estate on the side. I had a handful of single-family rentals and had done a few flips. A local wholesaler brought me a 9-unit apartment complex in downtown St. Charles, Missouri, which is a little town / small city near where I live. The building was in pretty rough shape. I say 9 units, about 7 of them were inhabited and inhabitable. The other 2 were not. And when we walked the property for the first time, I remember specifically in at least 2 of the units, there was homeless people sleeping on the floor in sleeping bags. Now, this might make you think that this was a rough area. It was not. It was a C+B- area, just happened to be a rough building in a decent area, which is kind of what we're looking for, right? After talking with the wholesaler and negotiating a little bit, we got the property under contract for $255,000, which seems pretty crazy looking back. But again, this property was distressed and it was off market through a wholesaler. So it seemed like a pretty good deal at the time. The property did need some work. We got some inspections done, and the good news was the HVAC, the systems were in good place. Electric was a little shoddy, but the roof had recently been replaced, so that was in pretty good shape as well. So being pretty new and green to this and having this be our first apartment complex, we felt pretty good that most of the big mechanicals were taken care of. After looking at the property and deciding to go forward with everything after the inspections, here's how we broke down the financing. We did this pretty simply by putting 20% down. So 20% down of that $255,000 purchase price is $51,000, so not a ton of money there. And we had a small local bank do the other $204,000 financing. Now, we used a private lender for the 20% down payment. Up to this point, our private lender had done BRRRR deals with us where he gave us money and we gave it back to him on refinance. He did a couple flips with us where he gave us some money and we gave him back his money on the sale of the property we flipped. And we had a handful of single family rentals with a small local bank. So I think it's important to note here that we were dealing with 2 financial sources that we had already dealt with in the past. I have a lot of people ask me how to buy apartment complexes with no experience. That's possible, but it's very hard if you want to be the owner of the property and not syndicate. Buying apartment complexes, even a 9-unit, can be challenging with the financing, having a short-term lender, a private lender have the faith in you to do a loan over a long period of time, and having a bank take a chance on you and fund the other 80% when you've never done a deal before. This is why I tell every single person I come across, if you want to buy apartment complexes, start out with single families. This will allow you to understand the process, to get relationships built with lenders, short-term and long-term, contractors, and understand what it's like to deal with tenants on a one-by-one basis. This just builds up the confidence and financial stability to have these other lenders or the current lenders take a chance on you on an apartment complex. So start with single families and then graduate to multifamilies, and you can leave single families in the dust, but I think it's best to have a little mixture of both. Single families are super liquid. You can sell them very, very quickly. You can sell them to a homeowner or an investor. An apartment complex only can be sold to an investor, and only a few amount of investors have the experience or will to actually own apartment complexes. So you can sell the single families to pretty much everyone. You can sell the multifamilies to a very small group of people, and liquidity is very key when you're starting out doing something. So start with single families, then graduate to multifamilies if you want. So we used a private lender for that 20% down payment. In this deal, we gave him 20% ownership of the property until we were able to pay him back. We did a 3 or 5 year note with the private lender, depending on how long it took us to get the property up to where it needed to be to increase the equity. I guess this is a good time to tell you our plan. Our plan was to use a private lender's money for the down payment, use a bank's money for the 80%, then over 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, increase that equity by raising rents by making the property nicer and getting efficient with expenses, using in-house property management, using technology, taking better care of our tenants so that they don't move out as much and lower our movement costs, so they were able to create more net income. Because apartment complexes' values are not like single families' values. The value of single family houses is based on what the other houses in the area sold for. That's not what it is for multifamilies. Multifamilies is not market driven. Multifamily values is based on the income it produces. So if you increase the income of the multifamily property, you increase the value of the multifamily property. So our goal was to do basically an extended BRRRR deals and increase the value enough that we could do another refinance and pay back our private lender. Over the next couple of years, surprisingly, or maybe not, we did pretty much exactly that. We spruced up the units with the cash flow that was provided from them. We increased the rents reasonably, and we turned a couple of the units that weren't livable. So creating a 9-unit income producing property versus a 7-unit income producing property was massive as far as the value add went. About 3 years later, in 2019, we got the property reappraised, and it appraised for $450,000, which is probably a little more than it should have been appraised for, but hey, we took it. That created enough new equity for us to execute our plan exactly how we wanted. So here's what that looked like. The new value was $450,000, so we used the same bank and got a new 80% loan on that $450,000 value, which was $360,000. We used that $360,000 and paid off the old bank loan that had been paid down to $195,000. Then we paid back our private lender their $51,000, and we gave them an additional $15,000 return on their investment. So they gave us $51,000, and they collected a little bit of cash flow throughout the next 3 years. And then after 3 years, we gave them back their $51,000 plus another $15,000 kicker to really make their overall return solid. And the cool thing is, this gave us another $99,000, if you were following along with the math, of tax-free money. It's a cash-out refinance, so it's debt, and debt is not a taxable event. So we're able to pocket basically $100,000, own an apartment complex that we didn't use any of our own money to buy, get a lot of tax savings along the way, which I didn't even mention, and gain some experience. Now let's flash forward to today. We actually just sold this property, and I don't think I've talked about this yet online. We just sold this property because we're kind of doing a little pruning process in our portfolio. This 9-unit plus another 32 unit are in those C plus B minus areas. Not bad, but both buildings are a little bit older, require a little bit more maintenance, and were just something we didn't want to own forever. We came across a mutual friend that had some 1031 money and was looking very quickly to put that money into play. And if you don't know what a 1031 is, it's basically meaning the person that bought the properties from us sold some apartment complexes, made a big chunk of money, and if they take that big chunk of money and buy something else, another apartment complex with it, they don't have to pay taxes on that big chunk of money they made. So they're basically rolling the profit from one apartment complex or complexes into another one and not have to pay taxes on the gains. So that's what they did. So we sold them as a package, but for our purposes, we put a $500,000 value on this 9-unit. At that point, the property had been paid down to about $275,000. So that gave us an additional $225,000 of profit on this deal after owning it for about 10 years. So we owned it for a little less than 10 years. We're able to make cash flow along the way, make a $100,000 chunk several years ago, and make another $225,000 chunk today, all on a property we bought using none of our own money. Now, ideally, you don't sell your assets because holding your assets over a long enough period of time is what creates wealth. But as you graduate into bigger assets or as you mature as an investor, you're going to decide what path you want to go down. Do you want maybe older, more cash flowing units, or do you want newer, less cash flowing, less maintenance types units? And that's going to be for you to decide. For us, we're wanting a little higher quality asset. We've even gone as far as not really talking about how many units we own to talking about the value of our portfolio, because that's much more important, the value, than the unit cost, because you can have a 500 units, but if they're all $25,000, $30,000 crappy units, good for you, that's not that impressive. I'd rather have higher quality units to get higher quality tenants that maybe don't cash flow as much, but are safer investments. So this is what it's like to properly leverage debt. And if you want to learn how to do this, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. You're hitting the like button, commenting any questions you have, as I will be answering them personally, and making sure you're following me across all platforms, including my podcast, The FasterFreedom Show. Check out the description as well for some free training, some free resources, and information on upcoming events I have coming up. See you on the next one.